What up, guys? Welcome in. This is the Wake Up Barstool post show, where we just kind of hang out, talk about whatever we want. This is going to be, I think we're going to start for now doing this on Wednesdays and Fridays. Depending on how much everybody enjoys it, the appetite for it may go to 3 days a week as well. Of course, I'm here in the beautiful Wake Up Barstool studios. These things are incredible. We've got the giant screen over here that has the chat on it. So I see all of your comments, all of your questions. If you want to get into any of said questions, feel free to do so. Is that you controlling that, Carson? Is that you controlling that through a light switch? How is that possible? But yeah, what's up, Tuddy? What's going on? So as y'all file in, get your questions in, we'll get to it. I got a few different things that I want to talk about today. Mainly they're going to be kind of in my interests, meaning we'll likely veer into the nerdy a bit. We'll likely veer into some college football as well, as I don't really, I have so much college football love. I have no outlet to, to kind of get into it as much as I want to now, because I don't have snaps or unnecessary roughness right now. So I want to talk about some coordinators, some portal stuff that's been taking place. Low says, let's talk about Big Cat Line. Cops were not there last night. Yeah, so I missed the Doug Challenge last night. I was putting my kids to sleep and whatnot. I heard there were 30K concurrent viewers watching the boys on YouTube go around to different fast food places and well, trying to eat as much fast food as possible. A wonderful stream, once again, from the guys. Did not end up breaking the record. It's tough to do, though. It's tough to do, though. And eating challenges are one of those things that you do not appreciate how hard they are until you're actually in them. And I've done plenty doing local radio for so long. I've judged... I've judged jambalaya competitions, crawfish competitions, spaghetti competitions. I've had to competitively eat sliders as fast as possible. I once shared a stage with Joey Chestnut in a pizza eating competition. That was one of the hardest things I ever did. And then we did the 999 challenge last summer at Barstool at the Cubs game, which was awesome. Joey Chestnut was there, coaches. It was great. The point is, the shit is fucking hard. Okay, and those guys, they left it all out there last night, as evidenced by they actually left it all out there. What's up, Date? What's up, Earl Troll? What's up, Low? What's up, Tuddy? PM asked, did you have a big arch yet? So PM's talking about the new McDonald's cheeseburger, which actually, it might be worth bringing up the video of the McDonald's CEO and the Burger King CEO eating these burgers. The only thing I'll say is I'm a little bit... Okay. So actually, let's just play the video. Let's see if this works, because we're trying to work out the technology to where I can play video links from my computer, and because we're not on TV, I don't think we have to worry about copyright and stuff. And I'm going to get to your questions, so keep getting these questions in here. Here's why people are talking about the big arch burger.
Chris K.
Okay, here it is. So this is McDonald's CEO, Chris K, whoever the fuck that is. And he's promoting McDonald's new $12 burger, guys. $12. I don't know about you. That pisses me off. And that's not a McDonald's, okay? I get it. It's the economic reality of our times, tariffs, inflation, all that shit. But I mean, what drove this point home for me was a few weeks ago, because my kids are the age they love McDonald's. I love McDonald's here in Chicago. They're all really nice, actually. They got play places, so like, I love to take them there and just have them play while I like read a book or something. I know the headquarters here, right? I think that's why they're so nice. But I've always just been like a McChicken and a McDouble guy. I just stacked those, because when I was in college, those were on the dollar menu. A single McChicken, guys, is $4 That's insane. A McDonald's burger being $12 is insane. Yet here's the McDonald's CEO trying to sell us on the big arch.
Here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the big arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now.
Immediately off the bat, feels a little inhuman, like all CEOs do. I guess it's par for the course because they kind of had a perspective on reality that's not really indicative of any of us normal human beings when you think about the level of money that they're dealing with, who they're competing with. But like, this guy doesn't eat at McDonald's. Okay, let's see.
But I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it.
That doesn't look like $12 to me.
1/4 pound patties, a
Half a
delicious
pound of meat's not
Big
bad.
Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce.
Okay,
So,
$12 for the
there's so much
combo.
going
It's still
on
a
with this.
$10 burger.
First of all,
Chat.
let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it.
Yeah, that's obvious,
Ooh, there's also
Chris.
some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth.
Bruh. Where's the bite? Where is the bite, guys? Look at that. He's sitting here trying to pimp the Big Arch. He didn't even bite the meat. There's nary a bit of bun missing from
That
that.
is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively
Actually, that bite did.
McDonald's.
I'm fat.
Only
That did actually look
McDonald's
pretty
could do
good.
this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives
Gooiness?
a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
That's insane on multiple levels. That guy, there is no way that thing was somehow distinctly McDonald's. But whatever. The point is, they had that. That's gone viral. And then the Burger King CEO, he's out there now. He has a burger. He makes sure to take like a massive manly bite. Miss me with all that shit. I don't care about these CEOs pontificating and trying to one-up each other about their burgers. How about you just find a way to make the prices lower? Like, fuck me, you know? Just find a way that I'm not paying $40 fucking for my kids to have Happy Meals. It infuriates me. All right, let's get to some of these questions here. What's the breakdown on your pre-prep? How long does it take typically to get a wake-up Barstool ready? Asked Dayton. So most of the heavy lifting is done by our wonderful producers. It's guys like Matt, Jeremy, Reese. Really, it's a team effort. But like after the show, we'll all meet for about 30 minutes on how today's went, what do we want to do tomorrow. And then we'll sit there for a couple of hours until, I don't know, about noon and put the other topics, put stuff in there. Everybody gets in here at 5. I get in here about 5:30. And from there, it's just prep until the end. Reading what's interesting, trying to come up with good takes, trying to be funny, trying to come up with good segments. And that's been the coolest part about this is because I come from a local radio background. And it's always just been very, you just do it all, right? Like I've never been a part of a team like we have here on Wake Up Barstool, and it's the team aspect's fucking crazy, dude. Like we have so many talented people in every department, and that's been probably the most fun part of doing this. Yeah, not sure you got any meat in that bite. I agree, dude. I agree. All right, what do we got here? Remember the burgers are 68 cents. Curtis Holmes says, I'd kill and die to be a producer on Wub. It's very fun. Thoughts on Battlestar Galactica? I've actually never seen Battlestar Galactica. I know it's beloved. It's one of my nerd pillar blind spots. Kind of Doctor Who is in that same category. I've never been a big, I don't know much about Doctor Who, but like anytime you go to a con, it's all over the place. William says, T-Bob question, if you had to build a Lord of the Rings fellowship out of professional athletes, who would you pick? Oh, man. You have to start with Aragorn. Who's going to be like the true leader of men? Now, if we're going all time, obviously you're going to want to throw a quarterback there. You're going to want to throw like a Tom Brady. I'm kind of feeling Josh Allen. He has a little bit of the wholesomeness that an Aragorn does. Who's going to be your, maybe like for your dwarf character, you're looking at like a Jason Kelsey type, right? Thick, burly, bearded, loves to pound beers. Your Legolas would be like a Justin Jefferson, a bit more sleek, a bit more athletic, a bit more effeminate in some ways. Boromir, that's just all man. I don't know why Zach Thomas pops into my head. Who would Boromir be? Who are you talking to? What are y'all doing with the camera here? What's going on? Is this you that's doing this, Carson? Okay.
I don't control cameras, dude.
Nussmeier NFL comparison. I don't know if there's a great comp for Nuss necessarily. Or at least I don't know what to make of Nussmeier after last season, where it looked like, we all had him in our top 10 quarterback list entering the year. He was supposed to be incredible, and then he just, he completely fell apart. But that was the entire top 10 quarterback class of last year. That was one of the more exciting parts about college football, is like Nuss was supposed to be awesome, Drew Aller was supposed to be awesome, Kate Klubnik was supposed to be awesome, DJ Lagway was, Lenora Sellers, and none of those guys sniffed top 10 by the end of the year. One thing I would say on Lord of the Rings, Samwise Gamgee, he is the O-line of fantasy universes, of nerd universes. As there's a guy that's not about the glory, he's not the star, but he's going to carry you to victory, just like he did Frodo, right? I can't carry the ring, but I can carry you. And I hope a lot of you got out to see The Lord of the Rings when they released in theaters the other day, because they were fucking awesome. All right, let me get to some of my college football stuff that I wanted to talk about here. Do we want to do top 10 quarterbacks, or do we want to do some coordinate? Let's run through our top 10 quarterbacks here. So these are all guys that did not make my top 10 quarterback list for next year's college football. Gunnar Stockton, not on there. How good can he be at Georgia? Very excited to see. Byron Brown, the transfer to Auburn from South Florida, maybe should be on there. Probably the best dual threat guy in the entire country. He follows Alex Golesh to the Plains. Byron Brown can make a massive leap in terms of stardom if he goes and dominates the SEC like he did. Damon Williams from Washington, he wasn't on my list, but he's someone who I feel like we may be overhyped, and now because of that, maybe he's a bit underhyped entering this season. Bear Bachmeier, the freshman at BYU, was great. Devon Dampier from Utah, he leads them to an 11-2 record. What can he do in a post-Kyle Whittingham age? CJ Bailey, Noah Fita, Laura Sellers, DJ Lagway, Sam Levitt of LSU, not even on my top 10 list. Who I do have at number 10. Oh, I do have Byron Brown on there. So I fucked that up. Byron Brown, number 10. Drew Mestamaker, Oklahoma State, number 9. Jaden Mayava from USC, 8. Darian Minson going to Miami. He's at 7. CJ Carr at 6 out of Notre Dame. CJ Carr probably has the potential here to be number 1 by the end of next year. I'm just not betting on guys as much. And then it's Josh Hoover going to Indiana because he's already been awesome. Look at what Signetti did with Rourke. Look at what he did with Fernando Mendoza. Arch Manning 4. Trinidad Chambliss 3. Julian Sayin 2. And Dante Moore going to be number 1. Tuddy says, you seem like you study or have done some acting. No, I've never done any acting. It would be my dream to. Now, I have done musical theater in the past, as back home, I was the purple party dad in the Baton Rouge Nutcracker, Nutcracker on the Bayou, which is an original choreography they've been doing since the early 90s. It's a fantastic show, and it did feature me with 30 minutes of stage time, guys. We should actually dig up that film because it was absolutely fantastic, and I love the stage. I would love to act. That's like actually like would be like a bucket list dream for me, would get to be a part of some movie production. Like when I was a kid, I was almost on the spectrum, likely with how much of the Lord of the Rings extras I would watch, the appendices, the making of each movie. I was dialed in. And these things are like 8 hours for every single movie, and I watched all of them constantly, every single one of them. Let's see here. Give you some names to watch. Well, actually, what do we want to do here? Let me bring up the chat here, too, so I can scroll back up, because I want control of it.
Control.
Well, I just want to be able to, yeah, okay, go. Well, I don't want to have to call for it every time, dude. Here it is. Okay, Tuddy says, in the years since being introduced to you on Yak, I've become a fan. 55 years old, watched a lot of sports, from newspapers, EMC, into Barstool Universe talent. Oh, thanks, man. That's very kind. Is the first weekend of March Madness better than the first weekend of college football in NFL playoff weekend?
Use the wrong your.
I got to be honest here, guys. I've never been the biggest college basketball guy. Partially, this is probably due to my LSU fandom. LSU's had great players. Ironically, LSU's maybe had better all-time basketball players than football players. I mean, they've got Chris Jackson, they've got Shaquille O'Neal, Bob Pettit, Pistol Pete. And there's been Final Four teams, but they've never been consistent in basketball. And I grew up an NBA kid. I grew up in Atlanta. We had Hawks season tickets. I used to go to those games almost every single home game, watching like Mookie Blaylock, Steve Smith, Dikembe Mutombo. Leitner was there for a while. So I was always an NBA guy, loved the Pelicans. But since coming to Barstool, there's so much college basketball here. I didn't realize in the Midwest either. I think what an impact college basketball has, how much people love it here. And it's been really exciting since football ended, starting to watch more, starting to learn these teams, the incredible freshman class. So I guess this is all a long-winded way of saying I've had some good March Madnesses, but I've never dove in the way that I'm planning to here in a couple of weeks. Now, doing this job on Wake Up Barstool, talking about the sport more constantly, like I'm going to be locked in morning to night. I cannot wait. Can't wait to bet on the games. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Like everything working here, which is probably one of the more interesting workplaces you could possibly imagine. Like this is definitely a pinch myself job that I have here. And the kind of comparison that I always go back to is, you know, I did years and years of local radio and whatnot, and it was awesome and I loved it. And I was content, I was happy, but I was like, you know, maybe there's something out there, there's a shot out there. And I basically pitched myself to Dan. I ended up getting hired here, and it felt like the fulfillment of a fantasy that I always had, which was the Harry Potter fantasy. I'm 37 years old, and I'll never forget, I think it was second or third grade, and we go to the library for book week, and they're doing a live reading of this new book, Harry Potter, and it's from Sorcerer's Stone. And this woman starts to read, and I can already feel the tingles, right? Like my nerve endings are catching fire. And then she ends it with the line, "You're a wizard, Harry." And it's that whole fantasy of just being like a regular kid, and then all of a sudden you get a letter from Hogwarts, and now you get to go to wizard magic school. And like everything changes. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, that's kind of what it has felt like for me. Doing local radio in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I loved it and everything, but I'd always lived in the South. I never lived anywhere else. And then all of a sudden I get my letter, "Hey, we wanna hire you to Barstool." And next thing you know, here I am, I'm in a completely different part of the country, Chicago, the American Constantinople, where East meets the West, the third largest city in the entire country. I'm working in Big Cat's Fantasy Factory, where there's golf simulators, basketball courts. I mean, one day I did Wake Up Barstool. You know, we talked to like, I can't remember who it was, but some guest that I was super pumped on. Then I leave the show. They're like, "Hey, we have sumo wrestlers here. You want to learn to sumo?" And then I'm shirtless. I'm out there trading blows with Kadik and some of the greatest sumo wrestlers of all time that are in town from Japan. Then there's like a catered lunch, and then on the yak we're dumping like fly. It's just, this is a place that is full of uber talented, uber creative people, and I do not take it lightly that I get to work here, and it's the fucking best, dude. Braden says, "What were your expectations? War of the Rohirrim, did you enjoy it?" War of the Rohirrim was an anime made for Lord of the Rings. My expectations were high, and unfortunately I think it fell a bit short. It was fine. It's not anything that I can necessarily say it was just awesome, or that you should go like trip over yourself to go watch. Brandon says, "A fellow Alpharetan," that's where I grew up, Alpharetta, Georgia, "did used to terrorize North Point Mall. Thoughts on the hockey team move there a little further in Forsyth County?" I did used to terrorize North Point Mall. In fact, it's something that I probably miss most from my childhood, that my children don't really get to experience, the mall. And even I kind of miss the golden era of the mall. Like, I'm a massive Kevin Smith fan, right? Director of Clerks, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is one of the most impactful movies of my entire childhood. It's probably why I have such a salty mouth. because that movie involves so much cursing and is so funny. And so I love Kevin Smith, and I love the movie Mallrats. Like, I wish I could go in a time machine. And to me, Mallrats was really like, that's like Brandon Walker's kind of era. That is the zenith. Is that the peak? Is Zenith the peak or the valley? I think it's the peak. That is the height of mall culture to me. But it used to be so much fun. You and the boys growing up, and you go to the mall, nobody's got a phone. You're walking around, maybe you're gonna see a group of girls from your school. It's like junior high, you're gonna go into Abercrombie and Fitch and try to get some sick cargo shorts. You're gonna go stop by EB Games and go check out whatever the latest video game is. You're gonna go to the food court, get you some sesame chicken. And now I bring my kids and it's just not the same. Even though it's pretty good here in Chicago given the population. Is there something you like better in Chicago than the South? Yeah, I mean, look, the summer's cool because it's not just deathly hot outside. Also, snow was really cool. Everybody's very cynical about it here, but me and my kids were like head over heels for the snow this year, going sledding, making snowballs, doing snowmen. I'm getting a little sick of the cold now. It's still been like days of like 20, 30 degrees, but nothing to really bitch about, dude. It's been fucking awesome. And also, I'm a suburban kid, and I live in like suburbs right now. Yard, just got a trampoline. The kids are hammering constantly. Gonna be bringing my daughter to hockey practice this afternoon. That's been very cool. I'm trying to learn to play hockey as well. It's fun. What's your drink of choice when chilling, watching a show, or just listening to music? I love beer. Beer's always going to play, but sometimes in an older age, and you heard production say old fashions. We'll get into old fashions in a second. Sometimes in an older age, though, it's like your belly gets full. These calories start to stick more. Something about one beer isn't doing what I want it to. It's almost like you need 6 of them. So as I get older, I find myself just dumping liquor in a glass. Maybe you have some tequila, bourbon. I'm a brown liquor kind of guy, or a white tequila, silver tequila kind of guy. But yeah, you just dump that in a glass and then you drink 2 of those. You're feeling great. You're enjoying the show. You're gonna sleep like a little baby.
Vodka soda.
Little nightcap. Yeah, vodka soda is great. Actually, I don't like vodka though. I don't like vodka at all. And here's the deal on old fashions. Old fashions are fine, but old fashions are the cocktail that every young man wants to drink and every young boy wants to drink to convince themselves that they're becoming a young man. And it's a panic order because you go to a restaurant and you want to seem cultured, you want to seem cool, but cocktail culture is kind of lost on even my generation. So definitely this next generation where nobody's even drinking. And so you order an old fashioned because what else am I supposed to order? To me, they're too sweet. And that's really one of my problems with cocktails in general is I'm not a big sweet guy. I don't want any triple sec in my margarita. I don't want any sugar in my margarita. I just want the liquor. So yeah, a lot of times I'll just go bourbon on the rocks or some sort of whiskey on the rocks. Although Bourbon Files, that's its own thing, dude. Like they are the level to which people can get masturbatory about anything. But yeah, especially about bourbon, it can get very gatekeepy, very kind of fast. I'm not like that. I don't have like an uber refined palate. I tend to like things to varying degrees. Like it's gonna be very hard for you to put a bourbon or a whiskey in front of me that I'm gonna sit there and be like, no, that tastes bad. Kana says, will we see more collabs with Robbie Fox in the future? I would love to. Obviously, me and Clem and Robbie have a lot of shared nerdy interests. And I've gotten to go on a couple of my mom's basements and whatnot. So hopefully for more in the future. That's just tough because they're over there in New York and we're here in Chicago. Although I've always got constant plans kind of floating around for pods I want to do. Like I really wanted to do a Lord of the Rings podcast this last Christmas season and they re-released them in theaters and I just never got to it because right now I'm trying to focus on WUB, trying to make WUB as good as we can. Also check out the Barstool Big Boys Club, the BBC. That's going very well. That's a very fun podcast. But yeah, I've got plenty more show ideas that ideally I would want to do. But that's the problem with getting older, man. you have a million things you want to do, especially if like me and you're a bit of a hobby file where you just bounce back and forth, but you just don't have enough minutes in the day. And I got 3 kids. I got an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And like having more and more kids, and I'm done, by the way, I got fixed. I was absolutely tapped out at 3. And getting fixed is awesome, guys. In fact, if you want to get fixed, this is the weekend to do it. Or even March Madness, that's a big one. A lot of guys do Masters weekend because, well, you get your balls cut and then you got to be laid up kind of all weekend. But getting fixed is awesome because you no longer have to worry about getting your wife pregnant.
Who got fixed?
Who got fixed? Reese just got fixed? Oh, congratulations, dude. I mean, look, I don't want to be crass, okay? But it's nice to be able to finish inside whenever you want and not worry about having a baby. I think it's something that you have to earn too. Like I didn't sprint to that finish line, you know. I went through years and years of being disciplined. I've been with my wife since I was 16. I was a pull-out master, or I thought I was.
You're getting paid to talk.
And then my 3rd kid ended up being, well, that was just, hey, stayed in a little too long, you know. One rope slipped past the goalie. What are you going to do? Bad discipline. But the point is, I was disciplined for years, and so I earned the ability to finish where I want, and it feels great. Also, getting fixed is probably one of the funniest experiences of my entire life. When I was a kid, right, I grew up a spoiled, rich kid. My dad played in the NFL. I was a little Silver Spoon city kid bitch. But my family... it's a Cajun family. On my dad's side, my mom's side is very country. They're from North Louisiana. The point is, it was a more humble, outdoorsy people. And so I always felt this pressure to try to prove myself to my relatives. And no, like I'm a man, I can do this outdoorsy stuff. And so I remember my uncle, my very Cajun uncle, Uncle Benji, taking me out there. He had to castrate some goats. And so my job... he was like, hey, I need your help. I was like, okay. My job was to sit on these goats, to sit on their chest and hold their horns, hold their head as my uncle took a straight razor, cut their testicles open, and then cut their testicles off with a straight razor and then sprayed disinfectant in there. And guys, that's an intense experience. Have you ever heard a goat yell? They yell like human children. I don't know if that's why they're called kids, baby goats, but they do. It's like ah! And so here these goats are. I'm sitting on their chest. I'm staring in their face. They're getting their nuts cut off, and they're just wide-eyed looking at me like, what the hell's going on? But I made it through, right? I did my thing. I proved I wasn't a city boy. I cut those goats' nuts off. But where this is all going is when they would walk away, they had this ginger walk, like because of course they just got detesticled. And I could not have helped but here 20 years later, I'm at the doctor, I'm getting fixed. And as I walk in, I'm walking in normally, but it's just a line of men walking out very gingerly because they just got their nuts operated on. So you know what goes around comes around, guys. And I cut those goats' nuts off, and here I was 20 years later getting my own nuts cut off. That was weird as well, because you go in there, and the nurse is prepping you, and they basically put your balls on like a little stage. You're all nervous. The doctor comes in. You're awake during it. You can smell your flesh burning. My doctor, get this, guys, his name, Dr. Cockrell. How about it? I mean, it was meant to be. And then I'm sitting there, he played LSU football, so I'm sitting there, he's operating on me, and we're just chatting up, how do you think the team's gonna be this year? We're trading old locker room stories. I'm smelling my own flesh burning. And then when I leave, I had to hit that goat walk. Because although I couldn't feel anything, I knew I was hurt down there. So I had to cowboy walk my way out of there. And then I sat on the couch all weekend and watched Lord of the Rings. It was awesome. We never had the plot. I'm sorry. Did that not make sense? I thought that came around. Okay, relax, Jeremy. We're wrapping up. Okay. Is it easier, the same, or harder to know what works in radio compared to streaming? The reason why I want to do this show as we wrap up here is because I love TV. I love the opportunity I've been given. But TV is more produced. TV is a bit less connection. Like I've always worked in radio where we had a text line, we had a live chat, and that was very fun to engage with. It made you feel very connected. I felt like I could be more myself. That's what this show is ideally for, is to be more chill, more discussion, more talkative, and just more back and forth and feel a bit more connected again. So, yeah. Thank you for letting us do this, guys. Sorry, William, I want to get to that, but they're telling me we got to go. So again, I know I need sun. Carson, shut up. That was you. That's literally your account name. If you're going to troll me from the chat, you can't use your own account that literally says Carson Pruitt, your full legal name, on there. Yes, I'm pale, okay? A lot of you accuse me of looking like an extra in a vampire movie. Not true. I'm too fat. Anyway, I love you guys. We're going to do this Wednesdays and Fridays here to start. Come back Friday, more post-show. Wake Up Barstool coming up tomorrow. We got the Thursday crew in, PFT and the boys. It's going to be a ton of fun. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys.